Hello friends, welcome back to Yoga with Paige. It's good to see you on the mat again. Today, as we flow through our Vinyasa class, we take our awareness to the base of our spine, below the navel, to our second chakra, the Sacral Chakra or Svadhisthana. This chakra is said to govern our sense of creativity, our freedom of expression of that part of ourselves, and is often blocked by fear of expressing ourselves, or maybe fear of accepting ourselves and who we really are. So we will be using a lot of grounding poses, a lot of poses that connect to this part of the body, and I just want you to explore with this class, have fun, get that creative energy flowing. So if you'd like to grab a block, have one handy, you can do that, as well as grab your mat, and we can get started. We start today sitting on the knees. We can stay here if this feels good, or we can widen the feet and let the hips drop to the mat. This is a little intense for the knees, so if this does not feel good, we can always tuck the feet back underneath. Finding whatever variation of our sitting position feels good. Wiggling it in. Then inhale, taking the arms above the head. Interlace the fingers, press the palm up. On your next inhale, take the shoulders up to the ears, and then exhale to press them down. Inhale to lift, exhale to pressing it down. We may feel some crinks, some little pops as we open the shoulders. One more time. Beautiful. Releasing the hands, coming up onto the tops of the feet, spreading the toes, coming onto the balls, opening up through our foundation here, our feet. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to flow through a seated cat-cow. So inhale, take the hands up to the hips, lifting the chest. Exhale, float the hands down towards the knees, rounding through the back. Moving with the breath, making this as expressive and big as we want, or maybe just very gentle, mild movements. Allowing your creativity to flow. One more round. Exhale. Then bringing the hands back down, untucking the feet. We're coming on the tops of them now. Reaching that right hand down, left comes overhead. Sending that arm overhead, big side body stretch. Exhale, gently release and switch sides. Still rooting down through the sit bones, pressing away from the mat, creating space on the side of the ribs. And release. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, coming into a twist. Right arm comes behind, the left hand finds the knee. Staying here for a few breaths, just wringing out the spine, lifting up the chest, nice and tall. Maybe we plant that right hand and reach the left back, getting a little back bend. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, twist to the left. Adding in any extra movements, any creative inspiration throughout this practice, making it your own playtime. Maybe taking our slight little back bend here. And exhale, coming back around, framing the knees. Walking the hands forward, maybe sliding back a little bit, coming into child's pose, reaching the hands out, walking the fingertips, stretching out through the upper shoulders, melting the heart down. Taking a moment here to check in with how you're doing so far today. Inhale, lift the chest, press through the hands, and come up into upward facing dog. Lifting the chest. Exhale, send the hips back, child's pose. Moving with the breath with this mini flow. Rounding through the back, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, press the hips back. Waking up the spine. One more time. Releasing into child's pose. Then tucking the toes, sending the hips up, finding our way to downward facing dog. Taking a moment to settle in here. Sending the heels down, hips up. Finding length in the back of the legs. Really reaching those heels down as far as we can. Then gazing at the hands, lifting the heels, and gently making our way to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, extend the spine, reach through the crown of the head, halfway lift. Sitting here for a breath, maybe releasing the hands behind, reaching the hips back, working through the hamstrings. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, hands come above the head, and exhale to heart center. Taking sun salutation A to warm the body up. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, flat back, dive down. Halfway lift. And step back to plank. Taking a slow and controlled vinyasa, tucking the elbows in by the ribs. And we meet in downward facing dog. Make our way to the top of the mat. Hop, jump, skip, float, whatever floats your boat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, hands come above the head. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time, stepping that left foot back. Lowering down into low lunge. Inhale, release the arms up high. Exhale, rain them down. Frame that foot, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels. Roll the back into upward facing dog. And then exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg. Reaching it through the chest. Planting it in front. Inhale, low lunge. Arms come up. Exhale, rain them down, step that back foot up and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. We repeat again. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift and forward fold. This time, stepping that right foot back. First time, inhale, reach, low lunge. Exhale, frame the foot, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg reaches up in through the chest. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, rain the fingertips down, stepping up and forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, hands come above the head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a moment here to just feel the warmth that we created. Rolling the shoulders back, finding mountain pose, slightly tucking in the pelvis. Notice that energy. Utilize it. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, flat back dive. Stepping this left foot back, coming into low lunge. Now that we're all warmed up, Inhale, release the arms above the head, untuck that back foot, and exhale, sink into the hips, making sure our alignment is correct. Open up the hips, release those emotions, release what's in the mind. And on your next exhale, reaching that right arm back, revolve, nice and big. Exhale, plant the hand, reach the left arm overhead. Windmill the arms around, coming to the inside of the foot, heel toeing it out a little bit. Making our way into lizard pose, picking up the back knee, sending the heel to the back of the room, really reaching for the front of that left hip flexor here. Breathing. Maybe we come down onto the elbows, maybe we just stay here. We're here for a few breaths. Exhale, lower that left knee. Reach back with the right arm for the ankle, pulling it into the chest. We can also let this leg, we can come onto the outside edge of that foot, creating as much space as we can, opening through the hips, the chest, the back, everything. One breath here. Exhale, release. Frame that front foot. Step back into downward facing dog. Raising the right leg, bend the knee, pull it in through the chest, and release into warrior one, pivoting on the back foot, raising up nice and high, grounding through the back edge. Exhale, warrior two, nice and strong. Inhale, reach forward and back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, switch sides, extended side angle, reaching the left arm overhead. Exhale, lift back up with control, warrior two. Turn to the long edge of the mat. I'll face you. The long edge of the mat. Turning the toes out to the corner. And exhale, goddess pose, sinking into the hips, squeezing the glutes together. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, cactus them, drawing the shoulder blades together, making a big goal post. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale, straighten the legs. Turn the toes to the long edge. And exhale, slowly fold over, wide-legged forward fold. Maybe widening the feet a little bit. Trying to reach the crown of the head towards the mat. Beautiful. One more big breath. Try to reach the head in between the legs. And lifting the head back up, planting the right hand underneath the chest, peeling the left up, re-revolve. Exhale to circle around and switch. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Lifting the chest, turning to face the front of the mat. You'll be coming from the other side. So this leg will be up. We bend that leg and come into pigeon pose. Releasing, sending that left leg back. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, slowly fold forward, releasing into the hip. Letting go of any tension we're holding there. Breathing nice and deep. One more big breath. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift the chest back up. We're going to swing this left leg around and extend it. So the right foot meets the left inner thigh. Square the hips. Flexing that left foot back at you so you get a better stretch. on the bottom of the leg, we slowly try to reach for the foot. Keeping a nice long spine as we fold. Beautiful. One more breath. And then inhale to walk the hands back, taking this right knee, crossing it over the left leg, taking the left arm, wrapping it around, finding a twist. Right hand comes behind. Reaching up through the crown of the head, sitting up nice and tall. One more big breath. And then exhale, release, coming back to face the front, staff pose, feet flexed. Just grounding here for a moment. Connecting back within, coming back to the breath, back to your true self, the center. And then release. We can cross the feet at the ankles, come onto the knees. And extend this left leg out in front, low lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Rolling the shoulders back. Tuning out distractions to be here on the mat, in the now. Exhale, reach that left arm back to revolve. Still sending the hips down, opening up through the hip flexor. Left hand finds the leg, right hand reaches overhead. Exhale, windmill around, finding your variation of lizard pose. Reaching that knee up, sending the heel back, creating as much space as we can. Chest is forward. We're nice and strong. Breathing. Finding a little bit of surrender in this pose. As much as we can. Still active, but releasing. Finding the balance. And releasing the right knee down. Kicking that foot up to find the ankle. Maybe coming onto the outer edge of that left foot to deepen this big stretch. Exhale, release, coming back by the foot, stepping back into downward facing dog. Raising the left leg, pulling it in through the chest, coming into warrior one. Inhale up, nice and strong. Exhale, warrior two. Beautiful. Inhale, reach front and back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, windmill it around, make it fluid. Fluid and fun. Extended side angle. One big inhale and exhale, come back up, warrior two. Reaching up to the side of the mat, the long edge. Turning the toes out, releasing into goddess. Nice and strong here, squeezing everything together. Maybe hands come to the knees, maybe they come to heart center. Exhale, see if you can sink a little bit lower. I know you can. One more deep breath. And then straighten the legs, send the arms out, shoulder height, turn the toes. And exhale, slowly forward fold. Maybe take the hands behind the back and try to send them over the head. 2 nice deep breaths here. Beautiful. Releasing the hands if we had them behind the back. Turning to face the front. And coming into our Pigeon Pose. Lifting the chest, sinking into the hips, finding what spot feels good. Exhale, slowly forward fold. Feeling the glutes open, lengthen. Beautiful. Deep breaths, sending the hips down into the mat. One more breath. Then inhale, slowly press up. Sweep that right leg around. Find your positioning here, flexing the right foot. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, fold. Again, not judging where you are in this moment. Honoring wherever you are. Inhale, lift the chest, walk the fingertips back, finding our twist, crossing the left leg over, and reaching the left hand back. Starting to slow down our breath if it hasn't already. Noticing the heat that we build, the energy that we moved around. Exhale, come back to center, releasing the left leg, staff pose. Feet are flexed, sitting up nice and tall. We'll find a little forward fold, reaching for the feet. One big breath. Exhale, maybe go a little bit further. And then inhale, lift up. Send the arms out in front of you. Slowly, with control, roll to the back. See how slow you can make it. And then release the hands to the sides, soles of the feet. Come up onto the mat, hip width apart. Preparing for bridge pose. So planting, grounding through the palms of the hands. Send the hips up, exhale. Up, 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 squeezing the knees together. Don't let them splay out. Maybe interlacing the fingers underneath the back so we can send the pelvis up a little bit higher. Hold, squeeze. Exhale, release. Take the hands out from underneath. Send them up to the top so fingertips are reaching towards the sky. Inhale. And exhale, send the hips up. Maybe bring the hands down. Inhale, release the hips. Exhale, send them up. 3 more like this. Exhale. Moving with the breath. 1 more. Beautiful. Send the feet up, come into happy baby, release the hips, open them, let them hang out. Maybe find a little rock here, a little fun. Or maybe we just want to rest. Whatever your body is telling you to do. A few breaths. And then crossing the legs over each other. So taking the right knee, crossing it over the left, reaching for the opposite feet, pulling them into the hips, finding this little reclined shoelace pose. Finding what feels good here. If the knees are a little further away from the chest, maybe they're in more, maybe we find less of a stack of the knees. Whatever feels good to you. One more breath. And then exhale to unravel and re-ravel. Beautiful. Releasing tension where we can. Maybe we find we're holding tension in the forehead or in the shoulders. Whenever we notice, we just consciously release. You do that enough times, the body will get the hint. Release. Extending the right leg, left knee is bent, and we gently guide it over, finding a twist. Because everything is practice, especially the good habits you want to build. Practice, practice, practice. It makes progress. Exhale, roll gently back onto the back to switch sides. Taking whatever twist feels necessary right now. Maybe we're already hanging out in corpse pose. That's okay too. And exhale, rolling onto the back, extending both legs, finding a few moments in corpse pose to just let ourselves be at the end of this practice before we begin tackling anything else we need to do. We're going to take a few more moments to ourselves. Just simply being, surrendering to the mat, letting it support you, letting it hold you, letting thoughts come and go, just focusing on the breath in this moment. And we can stay here as long as we like, or we can gently start to wake up the body and make our way to a comfortable seated position in your own time, where we take hands to heart center, inhale and exhale, nice and deep through the nose. Thank you for practicing with me today. I look forward to seeing you on the mat again very soon. Namaste.